Hi, welcome guys, it's Mike Newton down here at London Golf Academy. Got a little driver test for you here today. And we're going to look at maybe draw drivers and see if draw drivers actually produce draw shaped shots and maybe compare that against a standard driver. So what I've got here is the Callaway Rogue Draw Head and the standard Callaway Rogue Head. So obviously the draw one is more draw biased, trying to create that more right to left golf shot, or maybe for the golfers who fade, slice the golf ball, trying to reduce their right miss in their game. So GC2 HMT setup here, I've got the same shaft to go in both of these heads. I'm going to set them both at 10.5 degrees, not my ideal loft, but only pure reason because I've only got a 10.5 head in the draw option. So I'm going to keep the test as equal as I can, same shaft, same loft. One's a draw head, one isn't. Let's see if there's any difference between these two heads and the performance and the shape of that golf ball through its flight. Okay guys, so we're going to start off with a standard Rogue head to start with. As I say, 10.5 degree, just set the neck sleeve on neutral and straight, so it's just sitting as it is, square, 10.5 degree. I've got it in the hazardous yellow in 6.0, which is the same shaft I'm going to use in the draw head. So the neutral standard head is basically got the weighted screw in the centre, but positioned at the far back of the golf club here, but in the central position. So it's not creating any sort of extra weighting in the heel or the toe to create a certain face delivery. The club face sits, as I look at it, to me very, very square as I sit that down by the golf ball, so it's not sitting toed in. So as you'd expect from a more neutral driver to have that square sort of setting. Now when I get the draw head in my hands, I'll expect to see a little bit more of a toed in, but we'll come to that and I'll show you some images of that when we get to that section. So I'm going to start off with the standard head. Got GC2 HMT set up here. I'm going to hit a batch of shots in here. Probably won't show you all the ball flights here, but we're going to just go through the comparison of numbers at the end, and then we'll see if there's any differences between these two clubs. That's a great start. Very good start there. Hit that one really straight. Very neutral ball flight. And that's getting up to 292. Nice start here. So I'm going to hit a batch of shots, as I say, and then we'll move into that draw head. Yeah, it's a super strike. Just slightly pull up that left hand side. Again, quite neutral. It's not really shaping there. That's just touching, yeah, just short of 300 there. Okay, some nice strikes there. Little bit of both left and right misses there. So there wasn't one particular pattern, which we're going to have a look at in a minute. But let's move on to the draw head. As I say, got to keep the same shaft. Switch the draw head into this shaft. Same amount of shots. I think we've hit 7 shots there, so we're going to keep the same amount of shots hit. And then we'll look at some numbers in a little bit more detail. Okay guys, so now got the hazardous yellow shaft in the draw head here. Again, set at 10.5, and I've got this set in a neutral and straight neck setting on the Callaway adapter here. So the draw head actually sits a slightly toed in, and I can see that as I put that down there, it does sit a little bit more closed at address. So that isn't because I've changed the setting on the neck, that's just because of the draw head and the way it sits. So it's obviously helping to reduce any fade, spin, right shots by towing the golf club in and try and get the face to point more left of target. Now obviously in the draw head, the weighted screw that was in the back of the standard head is now moved forward but towards the heel. Okay, so by adding a little bit more weight in the heel section of the golf club allows the toe to travel a little bit quicker, again making that club face to try and point more left and not be delivered open. So faders, slicers of the world out here would generally, for right-handed golfer, would leave the face pointing more to the right of target, more open, and obviously that will create the ball to fade or slice off to the right of target. So with it starting with it being slightly toed in, the weight, heavy weight in the heel section allows the toe to come in even more. It's all about trying to get this club face to point more left to try and reduce that side spin. So My delivery here is pretty neutral. I'm delivering it from the inside. I'm not a slicer of the golf ball. If anything, my worst shot would be more turning it over to the left of target. So this, in theory, should go more left of target. I should probably miss this more left than you know, out of all the shots I'm going to hit, probably more to the left than to the right here. But we'll see. We'll see what sort of happens. I'm not going to try and do anything different in my swing here to manipulate this ball flight. So as I say, as I sit that down, I do see that slightly more toed in sort of address position of this golf club. So we're going to hit a batch of shots here, and then we're going to look at some numbers, a little bit more detail, and see if there's any differences of that side spin, start line, and actual dispersion of the golf ball. Okay, so not a bad start there. Definitely on that left-hand side, that one. Okay, strike was a little bit heely, to be fair, which would have helped it to start further left there. But that's definitely gone more up that left-hand side. So, as I say, batch of shots. We'll flick through these, and then we'll look at some numbers in a little bit more detail. Right, okay guys, so there we go. There's 7 shots hit with the draw head. That definitely draws. Okay. Now obviously, as I mentioned before, my bad shot will be a little bit more left. So this isn't helping me with the draw head, obviously. I'm seeing some more left shots here. Some weren't too bad, but definitely more of a left pattern, as I'd expect. So let's look a little bit deeper in those numbers and just have a look, a little bit of start path, a little bit of side spin, and maybe a little bit of dispersion as well, and see how possibly a draw head could help you if you're a fade or a slicer, and we'll talk a little bit about that in more detail. Okay, so we're going to start with the dispersion here. So white ring was the standard neutral head, the red ring was the draw. So you can clearly see there a little bit of a bigger dispersion pattern there with the draw, and obviously more position to the left of target. So I've missed pretty much everything towards the left here. Just looking at ball flights here, you can see a couple there really big shaping left shots there. I did get a couple of pulley drawy ones with the white, in the white shape, in the white ball flight there with it, which is a neutral head, but you can see also got a couple little pushes. Didn't really get any pushes with the draw head. Everything did miss left of that target line. Okay, so looking into some numbers a little bit more detail. So we've got the standard head here, rogue head in the bottom. So club head speed, a couple of mile an hour quicker with the draw. Didn't really feel that at all. A couple of mile an hour has resulted in ball speed there because of club head speed. Smash pretty much the same. Launching very, very similar as expected. Same loft. Spin number is exactly the same at 2.9, a little bit high for me. Couple of lower strikes with both of those clubs, to be honest. But this is obviously the big one I want to look at is the side spin. So average here, 6 right spin. So 6R is 6 right. So with the standard head, so just going through here. So 300 odd left, 300 odd right, 300 odd right, 188 right, 164 left, 277 left. So not big side spin numbers there. So not doing a massive amount of curvature in that. Then going to the draw head, you see everything is an L. Everything is left spin, which is draw spin. So 1300, the first one really did go left. 900 is a big number. 2's all right. 1200's big. 100, 62, 462, 406. So obviously averaging at 680 there. So definitely a more draw bias side spin producing on that golf ball for me in those hits, which exactly what it should be doing, as it says on the tin, really. So looking at that in terms of distance, not much in it. Ball speed's touch quicker there. Did spin, let's have a look. Yeah, ball speed touched quicker there, but actually didn't get as much distance out of that as I did with the standard one. So ball just flighting a touch lower there with the same spin, obviously just drops out the sky a touch quicker than the standard one there, peaked at 35, carrying at 270. Right guys, so I thought I'd bring you outside here, a little bit of a long shot of the range here. It's just a bit of sunshine for a rare occurrence here at Lytham, so it's just nice to get outside, so I thought I should round up this video out here. So, draw driver against the standard head driver. Clearly for me there, the draw does turn the ball more to the left. Now, got to think of it as the bigger picture. My delivery is more inside, my weak shot is more left than right, so that isn't going to help, and clearly we can see that on the results. I'm missing more left of target. So maybe for the golfer who is a fader, slice of the golf ball, a draw driver can help. Now this is the big thing. It's a great word, is draw, to stamp on the bottom of the club. For the slicers out there, put draw. Wow, yeah, I'm going to need to have that because also I'm going to hit these draw shots. No, you're not. Okay, there's obviously an element of your delivery into the ball in terms of your path and face relationship. What the draw drive is allowing you to do is to square the face up a little bit quicker. So with it, as I mentioned before, with it sat a little bit more toed in and a little of that weight in that heel section is allowing you to try and promote the face to point more left. But obviously you're big enough and strong enough to hold that open if that's your technique through your, or the movement you're making through the actual impact area. So even though it says draw, even though I've got that ball moving left, my delivery could be very different to yours. And if you're a big slicer, you will have that face open and you're working that club across the back of that golf ball. Yes, draw will help fractionally, but it isn't going to change your technique. This is the big thing. So it's definitely a couple with, yes, draw head will help, may give you some confidence, may get that ball to start in a slightly different direction. You're still probably going to fade it. You're still probably going to have possibly a slice there, but it might just reduce that by a percentage. But then you need to look at your technique. Lessons is the best way forward there as well. So the combination of the two can be very, very strong. The head, the technology is helping. You improve your technique can only make things better. Obviously with the next setting, you've also got a draw option in there as well. So with the draw, everything built in the head, you can also then change the next setting and have that a little bit more toed in as well. So you have got a little bit more option to make that more draw bias there. But again, importance here is go get fit. Get some numbers like we've done on the launch monitor there. Test it against your own driver. Test it against a neutral one. Does that draw benefit you as a golfer? Are you hitting that target more often than not on a higher percentage with a draw driver than a standard driver? That's going to be your way of making a decision whether that is going to help you on the golf course. Then as you're in there, you can look at path with the fitter, who probably is a coach as well. Look at that path, look at your face delivery. Is there a possibility of you improving your technique? I'd say yes. You know, then that's the only decision maybe to take a few options of going down the lesson front. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this video interesting between draw heads and standard heads. Obviously there's other brands out there do the same offerings of draw and standards. Again, the key is to really go and get fit. So comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Have you got a draw driver? Has that helped you reduce your fade slice? Or has it actually made the ball go more left? You know, I'd love to hear your sort of thoughts and your experience from maybe draw drivers. Okay, do hit that subscribe button, very much appreciated. Hit the bell icon to get notifications any future videos that I post. You'll be the very first to watch it, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.